Welcome, everyone, to the Roar TV. Thank you for joining us wherever you're at and whatever time you're joining us. We're excited to share some awesome stuff with you today. Today we have Karami Baker.
Hey, everyone.
We have Clarissa West.
Hey, powerful peeps.
And Tara Ray.
Hey, guys.
So today we're going to talk about doing a gut check, taking inventory on your life, and
so
really getting.
You don't get an ass kick.
That's right. So you don't get your ass kicked over and over and over again, daily, weekly. You know, let's get honest and do a gut check and take inventory
Unless you
on our.
like that kind of thing, then maybe this show's not for you. Maybe if you like getting your ass kicked over and over and over and living in that pity and the sorrow, you might want to turn us off.
Right. Addicted to the drama, addicted to the pain and sorrow.
Yep.
So yeah, today, starting last week was about New Year's resolutions and continuing to set new goals every single week, not just at the beginning of the year. And this rolls right into supporting that, and that is, when you're taking and creating new goals for yourself and doing this, making a gut check and checking in with yourself and then speaking about it is going to be really critical for you achieving those goals that you set for yourself.
So it's a way of every one of you listening to sit down with your notebook, pen in hand, and take inventory. Take an inventory, get real honest with yourself. That's why we said gut check, like check your gut. Guts don't lie. Your body doesn't lie to you. What lies to you is that monkey mind that's trying to cover up what the reality is. But to write down in your notepad and your journal where you've been showing up, how you've been showing up. Is it working? Is it not working? Where are you financially? Where are you in your relationship? Where are you in your relationship with your kids? How is your spiritual connection? If you're a religious person, like what does that all look like? Do you really live by the code that you create for yourself? Or is it just like once a day or once a week, or not once a day, but once a week? Like what does that look like to you? Financially, do you just only worry about finances when all of a sudden money is tight? Or is it like so completely overabundant that you forget about it and you don't know where any of your money is going? If there's like from one end of the spectrum to the other, we're all the same, and it's just a matter of tapping into what your reality is right now and getting real honest. And sometimes it can be a challenge, and it may not be beautiful, too pretty to look at, It might be kind of ugly.
Yeah, exactly. And are you willing to face the fears and the anger even that might come up, that I can guarantee you that will come up when you take a look at your relationship and you go, okay, is everything here in my relationship exactly how I want it? Now, honest, there's going to be some fear that's going to come up and go, shit, it's not. And am I going to bury that fear, or I'm going to let that fear and the anger that it's been for however long, or am I going to utilize those emotions to help propel me forward and to change it? And those emotions, a lot of people are not comfortable with them. And when you do a gut check, it's really checking in to your body and acknowledging what your body's trying to tell you. You may even have physical symptoms happening in your stomach because there's really a lot of fear going on. And are you too busy in your life and in your head to acknowledge really your body and what it's telling you? And it's got so much wisdom if we'll tune into it. Do that gut check.
And I think it's important on that body piece, Angeli, for people to learn and understand that. And that 6-week course that we offer that will be starting at the end of January will dive into and teach people that specific pieces of the body and how to listen to our body. It's not just like, oh, I noticed my shoulder's hurting. Cool, well, let's just go rub some muscle rub on it and it's all good and great, right? No, really, like, what is your body telling you? And I think that's a key piece that not everybody, I think maybe the four of us maybe take that for what's the word I'm thinking of?
For granted.
For granted. I was going to say advantage. For granted because it's so natural to us. But I don't think that's not a real thing for everybody out there. They don't quite understand that. So any of you women watching, this is a women's course, a 6-week course that will be starting at the end of the month, January 26th. I highly recommend you get into contact with one of us to discuss what that is and if it's going to best support you on your path and wherever it is that you're going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be a great foundation for really supporting any woman in achieving your goals throughout the year, because you're going to have set all these big goals, and in your mind you're going to have, okay, I want to accomplish this, and I want to get a new vehicle, or I want to make this certain amount of money, and it's bigger than what you're currently experiencing, and you're going to have a lot of fears come up to challenge why you don't feel like you deserve that, and you're going to have your body's going to be telling you all sorts of things, and it'll be all this subconscious programming that you're not even really aware of. And how do I deal with that? My conscious mind is telling me one thing, and my subconscious patterning is interfering here and is creating havoc on me achieving my goals. So we're excited to do the 6-week course, and anyone who wants to jump on and feels like it's a fit, would love to have them.
I think a key piece you just brought up, Angela, about that subconscious patterning, something that we were discussing right before the show. Oh, I'm hearing an echo, or are the rest of you guys hearing an echo?
Nope.
Anyway, a piece that we were talking about before we started the show, Jeremy, you brought it up about doing something to create the feeling rather than waiting for the feeling. I would love for you to elaborate on that.
Yes. Am I echoing you? Hey, Angela, or whoever's not, mute your microphone. Usually that tends to help. Is it still there? Okay, when you want to speak, Angel, go ahead and unmute yourself. You're off the zone. So the piece on, reiterate what you were saying a bit.
So the piece that Angela was bringing up the subconscious programming, and one of those key things was I don't feel like doing this thing. I don't feel like it, and so we just go off of our feelings so much. And what we were talking about was to go take the action to create the feeling. And,
yes.
And I would love for you to elaborate on that and how important it is for all of our viewers to understand this key piece.
Yes. Well, I think that for me, I would go into this space of I'm consciously aware of what's going on, so when I feel like doing something, I'm going to honor myself and I'm going to go do that thing. What I wasn't realizing is that I was sabotaging myself because I was waiting to have the feeling as if it was out of my control to create that feeling. And it really was learning to, regardless of how I feel, am I willing to take the actions necessary to support exactly what it is that I want in my life? If I want an amazing relationship, I get to take the action. I get to go sit down by my husband, give him touch, send him love, do whatever I need to do to create the feeling, or even ask for the touch, ask for the appreciation, whatever that may be, so I can generate that feeling within inside myself and then be able to experience the love and the amazing relationship I want to have with him. Or in any scenario, really. It comes down to, am I willing to do whatever it takes to have my success? It's got to take with me getting my butt up, doing something to create the feeling.
Don't you love it how every single thing comes down to that damn action taken moment? Everything. Here is the key to success. The key. Take action. Just take action. You don't need to know. Just take action.
Life does not involve lazy people that are successful. It is not possible.
Angela has something she wants to share because she's unmuted.
I had a thought pop in on that, and it was, for a long time in my relationship, there were things that I thought weren't how I wanted them, and in my mind I would, create this scenario of how things should be, and I would hope for things, or I would even hint that that Kyle would do things, or I would, put up a wall and kind of shut off, letting him know silently that I didn't like how things were after a certain situation had just occurred. There was so much of this going on in my head, and it wasn't until I took action on the thoughts. It's like these thoughts are coming in and showing you what it is that you could create, but nothing ever changed until I did a gut check, and then I took action on the gut check, and I went and had the conversation and was honest and said, hey, let's create something different in this area. And wow, magic unfolds, and you co-create together, and voila, there you go. Start taking action together.
Imagine that. We're witches and wizards.
Yeah.
We create magic all the time.
Yeah.
I love the piece that you brought in about hope. And I remember many, many years ago hearing about the word hope. And for me, in my relationship, and really even in financially, because for me, my relationship has directly affected our finances every single year, every month, every week. It's like a direct reflection of where we're at, right?
Yes.
And it's been super incredible and super fascinating to me to understand that. But the part that you brought in about hope, and that's kind of the place that I was at several years ago, was I'll just pray harder. I'll just pray harder that this is going to get better. In fact, if I just hope it to be true, then it's going to come true, right? Like, how fucked up is that? And I say that so jokingly because hope truly is just that wish. It's just that, like, wish out there that something's going to come to me and I'm so deserving and I've been a good girl and I'm doing everything right and it's going to happen for me if I just hope, pray, and wish harder.
It's not about what you deserve. It's all about what you're committed to.
Yep, exactly. It was the craziest thing. I remember that. I remember actually quite a bit after my son died, feeling in that mindset of deserving so much more, and my life was a mess, and relationships a mess, and blah 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 blah.
As you're
and
sharing
then
all
took action and did something different. Imagine that.
Yeah. As you're sharing all that, this one-liner comes to my mind. My mom would always say, she'd be like, "Okay, you can wish all you want. Faith without works is dead. It means nothing. Just go do the work," And my mom was never one to buy into my pity parties, ever, ever, ever. And I am sending her appreciation wherever she's at. I'm thinking of her right now.
I'm going to send her appreciation to you and to every other mom and parent out there that says that same thing. Say it again one more time. Faith without works
is dead. It's absolutely will do nothing. And so you can have faith and you can have this vision and this dream of what you want to create, and it's grand and beautiful. But if you're not acting, taking some sort of action, then the universe can't line up to bring the next thing into your place to take the very next action, and then the very next action. So
I guess a way we could sum that up would be like to kick our own ass so that we don't get the ass kicking. To kick our own ass into taking action so we don't get the ass kicking from the world and
from the universe.
The world hates me and it's just going to make me fall down on the floor again and in this big heap and puddle. And
plus, then you can't blame anyone else. It's really hard to get that mad when you know that you're the one.
That just takes all the damn fun out of it.
Yep.
I can't blame anybody else. Are you serious? Well, then what? Then what? Then I have to actually be responsible?
No, then you'll just be putting your head in the sand.
Like an ostrich.
I'm thinking, as you're saying that, I'm thinking of, there's been so many times I've had, been with a group of people, and, it's like this reality check, this gut check. And so many people are oblivious to it. They have this victim way of speaking. And you can tell if somebody is playing life out as the victim or if they're a creator just by the way that they talk. So be aware of that as well. The way that you're talking.
Do this for me. I can't do this by myself. Will you please?
That's a really big thing. It's those small little action steps that create massive shifts. That's one of them. I remember coming to the place, like almost to this realization of like feeling like I have this tribe, right? We have these kinds of tribes, or this support, or the family, or whatever it is. And I remember coming to a feeling of the tribe or family does not give a shit. Like literally, to come to that place when we get to that place of understanding, and I don't mean that people don't love you and care for you. That's not what I'm saying. Like literally, like theirs life is more of a challenge than yours. They're probably more focused on that, and so that's what I mean about not giving a shit. And when I got into that place of, you know what, nobody cares if you really succeed, and nobody really cares if you fail. It's going to only be up to us. It's only up to me. That was a really big shift where it's just like those, even though I'd heard it over and over, but it was a really big shift for me of taking inventory and discovering, you know what, do I want this to work? Awesome. Let's change it and do what works. Mm-hmm. If I don't want it to work, awesome, then get out of it. Mm-hmm. Make new agreements. That was a really big shift.
That is a big shift, especially coming from a family where you have a lot of siblings, or even, you know, for me, it's the experience of leaning on one another and going, oh, okay, well, this brother has this trait. I can go to him for advice, and he'll bail me out of this situation. Or I can go to this sister, and, you know, she'll give me the shoulder to cry on and make me feel better. And it's like this whole little tribe that you grow up in, your family, and you are kind of immersed and marinated, so to speak, in these, you know, ways of being. Mm-hmm. Not just in your mind, not just the, you know, the thought patterns, but you're acting them out, you're playing them out with each other and with your parents. And, you know, you have a certain amount of time where you're there, and then when you step outside of the home, now you get to go experience how you get to carry those things on, or you get to create something new. And most of the time, it ends up being, in your mind, you keep looking back to your family and going, okay, well, you know, if my family really cared, they would bail me out of this one. You know I'm out creating my own life now, but I'm a victim to this and that. I've never been good at this. So my brother here, he's been great at that, so he should help me.
Yeah, and like hearing all of the words that you're using, like my family will bail me out. He should do this. They loved me. Mm-hmm. All of those drama stories that we create, like all of those things that we're addicted to. Like that's what I was talking about being addicted to earlier before the show, was being addicted to that mindset, being addicted to a life that seems to be super colorful because we're so full of drama. We've always got a lot going on. We've always got a lot to say. There's so many stories, and we're like the life of the party, because when we look at those people, and if those people are ourselves, then we get to look at ourselves. So when we look at ourselves in that place of always sharing in a dramatic way, like think in your mind and bring up someone like that you know. Like they're the life of the party, and you really people are drawn to them because they're just like kind of like a dropped jaw listening to their stories, and they're colorful and they're entertaining, and they're kind of like, we just sit there and we just keep listening. It's kind of like we're getting sucked in, and so people get addicted to that. And so if we were that person that was the life of the party, that was showing all these different stories and having all these experiences, yet it's so full of drama, where would those people go that are watching us? Where would our audience go if we dropped those addictions? Where would they go? Mm-hmm. They would not be there. And so it's like that pattern runs so deep in so many of us that we think, if we're to step in and take responsibility, crap, maybe we're going to be alone. Nobody's going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where massive support that you get to create comes in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the big fear right there. You start making big changes and you look at, well, but all my family and friends, they're not doing what I want to do. I'm looking at creating my life to be a different path than what the rest of my family, or even not all of them, but even if it's a good chunk, it still creates so much fear, that, like Karen was saying, create a support system for yourself so that
Well,
when you make those changes.
when I got into getting my reality check, exactly where I was at, it was a lonely place for me. And it felt for a very long time. But I also wasn't willing at that point to invest in myself and create the support that could have created a community of people that are like-minded, people who understand because they have been through the journey and can give you so much insight and love and support into making your life thrive instead of taking the hard path. Like for me, and you'll be amazed at the obstacles that will come up as soon as you start taking that gut check, and the stories you'll tell yourself, and the things that will be thrown in your way, and you'll want to say, no, I'm not looking at this anymore, or I'll do this later. Eventually, I'll matter. But realistically, it comes down to making a choice and doing it. And are you ready? Are you willing?
Are you committed?
Are you committed?
I love that the four of us have created a support system for each other, but that we are extending that out to the rest of the women in our communities and really all around the globe to be able to join us in the 6-week course that we're doing of the Developing Your Personal Power. But then beyond that, it doesn't just end there. It's a community that we are building for women and the few brave men that are willing to join us. Specifically, that will be the women on that 6-week course. But it goes way beyond that. That's not where the support ends. That's not where the community ends. And we're creating a system that is going to be powerful beyond measure. Because when we as women come together, we bring our village with us. We bring our tribe with us. We bring our whole families with us. That's just how we as women, how we work. It's not just the lone wolf. That's not the style of the woman. That the style of a woman is to have that support. We thrive on other women. Would you guys agree with that?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And it's not about shutting men out of our lives either, guys. We are in balance and co-creation with them as well.
In fact, that's, I think, one of the key things that we teach at Uproarious is the power of co-creation and how every one of us get to have that if that's what we choose.
Exactly. Yep. And it's really, it's awesome because each one of us are in relationships where we've got, I've got, 5 kids, Chris has 5 kids, Jeremy, you have 3, and we've all been married for over 10 years. And, we're about co-creating with our husbands to create thriving relationships. But one piece that's been so important for me in thriving in my relationship is also getting support for myself, because guys are wired differently. They don't necessarily like to or feel the desire to be in the same type of a community as women. And so it's been so supportive and so essential to my success to be surrounded by powerful women.
And I think a lot of us can, at least I relate, and I imagine some of you do too, that are listening, is that when we were younger, it's like, for me, it was like I got along with the guys better. I had a lot of sisters and a lot of brothers, but I got along with the guys brother. I had more guy friends in school, and it was just guys were less drama. That's what I would tell myself. And then when I met my husband, it was just me, my husband, and the guys. And it was just, it was easy that way. And it was, maybe it was definitely, my perception of what women are. And I think a lot of us women kind of have the same thought. So if we're having the thought that all other women are like this, why would we not choose to shift? Why would we not choose something different and create a community that is similar to what we observe and love about our men, yet it's coming from that feminine power, that feminine warrior, that feminine just essence of who we are, and bring the best of both worlds together. That's what Uproarious Life is doing. That's what the 4 of us will bring to you.
Yeah.
And we'll speak for Tara. She's not here, and she is not in a relationship right now, but she'll be the first to tell you, or be the first to agree with every one of us about co-creation. That it happens even if she's not married and has kids. It's still the same principles. The same principles that she lives by are the same principles we live by.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So who's ready to go kick their own ass?
Your assignment.
Daily habits are going to be your daily successes. So, or possibly your daily failures. You know, however you choose to look at it, and however you choose to show up for yourself.
Yeah. The point is to just start. Start writing it down. Start getting clear. Reach out to someone if you want the support.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And start taking action. You know, if you've got your notepad out and you've already started taking inventory on where things are in each area of your life, then right next to each item go, okay, what's the action? What action could I take on this particular item to create the result I want? And some of those things, it's going to be, you know, having a conversation. And the other piece might just be getting support with a community of women like what we're offering. And there's plenty of other organizations that are out there that are also offering mentoring and support programs. But the main thing is getting support.
And of course, we'd love you to be a part of ours.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We love that word absolutely, Karami.
Absolutely. Amazing.
But any of you women listening, and guys too, because we have a lot of support from all of the men out there, just remember, action recedes fear. In every situation, we talk about action a lot because it's the #1 thing that will create the change that you desire. That action, that warrior part inside of you is the part that you get to tap into to take that action. A warrior is not a struggle. Warrior is not a fight. Warrior is an action taker.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And there's the steps of, you know, your emotions create your thoughts create feelings drive you to you know, to take certain action. But can also work in reverse. Yep, get you the results. And so like Karami was saying though, don't wait. You don't have to go in that order. You can start the opposite. You can start taking the action first and go, you know, if I was to achieve that or create that type of success, what are the action steps I would have to take? Put yourself there and start taking the action. Then you'll notice that the feelings and the thoughts and the emotions, all those other things will come right along with that.
Absolutely.
All right, it looks like we're about there for the day.
Yep.
Angela, do you want to just share with them real quick how they can get a hold of us, mention the live events that we've got going on with Uproarious, and also our 6-week Developing Personal Power?
Yes. So you can contact any one of us through, you know, Facebook Messenger to jump on our live course that's starting at the end of January, the 6-week course. Also, if you're interested in coming to a live event, we'll have a 4-day event that's going to be coming up very soon. And if you want to create some massive movement in your life and big support, jump in on that as well. And you can also go to uproariouslife.com and get all the information there as well, and get connections with how to sign up for either one of those.
Cool. You guys, it's going to be awesome. You gals, it's going to be awesome.
Awesome. Have a great day, you guys. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks to all of our viewers. We appreciate every one of you.
Love
Till
you
next
all.
time.